that lost at Bradford. Out go Jamie Foster, Tommy Makinson and Lee Gaskell. In come Gardner and Lomax. Ohio moves to stand off and Wheeler is on the wing. The big news though is that James Roby's back at hooker, Perry starts, Dixon's out and Flannery replaces Clough, who drops onto the bench where Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook returns and Sean McGuinness makes his first appearance since last July. Leeds, well, they make changes too. Brent Webb is ill, so Lee Smith starts at fullback. Danny Maguire has hamstring trouble, so Rob Burrow plays scrum half for the first time since the Cup semi-final against Castleford last August. Paul McShane comes back into the reckoning at hooker then. Huraki's out injured, Bailey is suspended, so otherwise it's an unchanged pack. And on the bench there is a debut for 18-year-old Stevie Ward, a highly rated young second-row forward. We've seen all the headshots there of the Leeds Rhinos players, but they look totally different today, as you can see. As part of this weekend, which has been designated as a round that will support sports relief, the Leeds players, as you see, have dyed their hair bright red. They've either dyed their hair red or they have had their heads shaved. Although Chris Clarkson looks like he's missed a trip to the barber. It's all because the club's fans have raised enough money to see that through and made a nice donation to the charity. And of course both sides, you'll see there, and you saw it on Friday, both sides wearing the red socks to mark the weekend of sports relief. And the Leeds Rhinos supporters have travelled over here in numbers. They must fancy their chances of a first away win against St Helens since 2008. But they know the Saints will be angry for all sorts of reasons and will be aiming to respond. It's a glorious day. Summer rugby has suddenly arrived in the middle of March, and the Saints fans looking here to end 5 games without a win. Has a Saints team ever been more desperate for a victory than they are here tonight? They've lost 4 in a row in the same season for the first time since 1989. And Phil Bentham is suitably attired, of course, to support sports relief as well, and doing his best to get the two sides out of their dressing rooms for the kick-off. Another defeat here for Saints, though, would make it their longest losing sequence since 1985-86. 26 years. Leeds in great form, though, Steve-O. They've won 6 of their first 7 of 2012, and they're World Club champions as well. What a contrast to last year.
Yeah, they'll be very, very strong today. I feel that they'll be full of confidence. Okay, they will be without Danny Maguire, which is a bitter blow. He really is back into top form. But I suppose when you can switch from the hooking position, Rob Barrow, Kevin Sinfield, the combination. And it's interesting to see how St Helens, Kieran Cunningham and Mike Rush, the deputy coaches, if you want to put it that way, they've gone for experience. Eddie Gardner comes back, which is not a bad option. And of course, the standoff Lance Ohio will partner Johnny Lomax. That'll be interesting to see how those two get on against the likes of Barrow and Sinfield. But it's really up front that St Helens have to get back into a dominant feeling. They've got to ensure that the pack is rugged and strong against the Leeds 6 that really have been dominating throughout this year.
That's right, isn't it? They haven't been doing a lot wrong, St Helens. In fact, the ball hasn't been bouncing their way in some occasions. Lance Ohio, you mentioned playing at standoff. I know when he was brought over to the club, they said he was going to have utility value. He's played twice as a fullback, twice as a sub, twice at hooker, and this is his second occasion, Eddie, so far this season that he will play at standoff. Those are 3 very different roles that they've asked for him today, and this is a massive test for them tonight. Lance Ohio will be desperate to get a win because they know their next 2 games are against Warrington and Wigan.
Well, Leeds have won their last 4 in Super League, including their biggest ever win at Salford 9 days ago. And Phil Bentham is the man in the middle tonight. A beautiful early summer's evening. It doesn't feel like the middle of March at all.
Tremendous, and so much skill on show tonight. But there's one man, of course, that we can not start without making reference, and that is the return of James Roby, who really has been missed over the past few weeks when he picked up the injury at Huddersfield a few weeks ago, and I'm sure that Mike Rush, Kieran Cunningham will be very happy that they have the influence of James Roby out there tonight.
Sinfield gets us underway then. O'Hire is underneath the kick-off, and they'll be looking for a big game from the likes of Josh Perry. He's got the first penalty. He dropped the ball in the collision, but obviously, according to the referee, it was stolen. 2-1 in the tackle.
Yeah, Callum Watkins got the fingertips to it there in the end. Just pulls it away. And the man that's had the ball stolen, Josh Perry, a lot of responsibility on his shoulders tonight. He really has to lead the way. As I say, they've been classified as a bit soft up front, Saints, of late.
Here he goes again, and wrestled to the ground, Josh Perry. Got Brian, Phil and Steve-O alongside me here tonight watching this match. Best of luck, fellas, with these red hairstyles.
Move! Hold, goal!
And we're hearing from our own redhead, John Wells, at half-time, of course.
4, move! Hold, goal!
Opening minute of the match, Roby gets the ball away to O'Hire. He dabs it in towards the corner.
Tremendous kick. That's the type of thing that they need, and the good chase, flatten them straight away. Tony Pulituya, obviously the influence there from the standoff. Lance O'Hire coming to the fore early in the game. His kicking game is going to be crucial.
Crowd doing their best to get behind the Saints. There's Mike Rush, the man who has been thrust into the limelight. He doesn't want the job full-time. He heads up the finest young academy setup at St Helens in this competition, and that's where he has made his money. It's world class, and that's what he wants to continue doing for St Helens. Whoever takes the job on a permanent basis will inherit a wonderful nursery that Mike Rush and company have produced, and Kieran Cunningham is his assistant working alongside him. Incidentally, Roy Simmons, the deposed coach, says in the local press this week that he will be here tonight and he will be cheering on the team because he's a great fan of the boys and he wants to see them succeed in 2012. Roy Simmons is that sort of bloke. He holds no grudges with anybody. Certainly wouldn't hold grudges with his team, that's for sure.
Well, evidently his parents are flying in this week as well to visit him in England, so he'll be here for quite some time.
Well, he won't want to miss out on his rugby league, that's for sure. And if he's watching at home with us live on Sky Sports, sorry you had to go, Royce. Here is John Wilkin with the dab down the line. It's play on, says the referee, and it's not played at, so it's still the last tackle. It's a high hanging kick. Ryan Hall is underneath this. Gardner's picked it out of his hand and scores the first St Helens try. He came flying in, did Aidy Gardner, and he marks his return with a wonderful try. Hall was on the deck, he was waiting for it to arrive in his arms, and Gardner came over the top, pinched the ball straight out of his grasp and touchdown. Well, he's missed the last week against Bradford Bulls, Aidy Gardner, but he scored tries in his last 2 appearances and he makes it 3 in a row.
Well, it wasn't the best kick, was it? John Wilkin, he got the ricochet, flicked it back. Lance O'Hire said, hey, let's get it higher, just like my name says, and what a pinch. Aidy Gardner back, the experience, that's what St Helens needed. Neat flick, wasn't it? Not the best kick. It was Roby Solly that got the high one, not Lance O'Hire, and that is sensational. If ever a side needed an early boost, it was this. Quick thinking from Wilkin, the second rower, but not as quick as this guy. Tremendous start.
Just what they wanted, St Helens. Johnny Lomax with the kicking responsibilities, the reigning young player of the year, making his 60th appearance for St Helens. And Lomax makes it the perfect start for the Saints.
Well, the run of 4 defeats for St Helens that got them to this stage started by conceding a similar try here a month ago when Catalan Dragons scored in the dying seconds. They've shown there a sense of urgency with John Wilkin getting the ball back in play and a moment of brilliance from Aidy Gardner to get up above his winger, catch it and ground it all in one motion. That's what the Saints can do when they're at their best.
Well, they look in the mood to take on the champions tonight. O'Hire is underneath the kickoff again. Here comes Perry, exactly the same as the very first moment of the game. He got through that tackle, wants to get to his feet to play it quickly. Lulawai was holding him down.
That's amazing, only 4.5 minutes into this game and we've seen more aggression from the St Helens pack that we've seen for the past 4 or 5 weeks. Bit of pressure on the Brian McDermott. He knows that they haven't had possession, any opportunity to apply the pressure, but it's all Saints at the moment. Another kick.
And Brian McDermott knew that the Saints would be facing his men today, and they would be angry for reasons, of course, that have got nothing whatsoever to do with the Rhinos. Look at this defence. Well, Roy Simmons, if he's here, if he's watching at home, will be saying, where has this been for the past month?
Great kick into the corner, the chase. Wheeler, Polituya, let's take him back. Tremendous. They are running hot. Pressure for the fullback, Lee Smith.
Well, they forced goal-line dropouts against Bradford last week. They have done in other matches which they haven't won. I suppose ultimately they're going to have to convert these chances into points here now. The momentum's behind them, the crowd's up here with a voice cheering them on. Can they put even more points on the board whilst they're in the dominant phase? Great
goal-line dropout from Kevin Sinfield into Saints half. And they will come back here with Anthony Lafranchi. He's halted 32, 33 metres away. Roby at dummy half comes the short side. Gets the ball to Flannery.
It's a different side, aren't they, with this guy out on the paddock, James Roby. He really is controlling things already at the dummy half position. Always asking the questions of the first and second marker. Off on a run again.
Gets away, gets the ball to Lomax. It's a short ball from Lomax. I think that is Francis Melly underneath the tacklers. No, it wasn't. It was Tony Pulatua. And here is a Frankie.
Good job that Clarkson got there.
Now it's Lomax. Lomax scores the second try for the Saints. Lots of talk about the importance of Roby to this side, but Johnny Lomax, when he is on song, St Helens also play well. Lomax missed last week. He got a try in the home win against Leeds here last June, and proving why he is the Young Player of the Year in 2011. The 4th Young Player of the Year from St Helens, following the likes of Cunningham, his new boss, Connolly and James Graham.
Leeds are absolutely stunned. They have no idea what's hit them. It's a red and white machine, getting well back into it. That is very poor defence. Very poor indeed, and you can see there that Johnny Lomax had all the time in the world, not only to step before Clarkson moved away. They take a step and then just wait for it. Oh, problem for Brian McDermott. The fans here, they are happy. Been a tough 5 weeks for them.
Time off.
And it's been a desperately tough week for everybody concerned with this club, but it's suddenly being forgotten in the sunshine at the new Langtree Park, this magnificent new facility that St Helens have got. And this kick to give them a 12-point advantage. Lomax in no hurry to take this. Manages to find the mark, and Saints lead by 12-0.
Certainly do.
Well, it's absolutely the start that St Helens would have liked. Poor defence by Kylie Luluai. Normally a good defender. He's found himself flat-footed. Johnny Lomax good enough to take care of that. Just have a look. Kylie Luluai caught drifting out wide, anticipating the pass from Lomax, but you got to deal with the ball threat first. St Helens have started exactly as Kieran Cunningham would have wanted them to. Very, very quick in the play of the ball. Down on the ground, playing it quick and playing with a bit of smart as well, which is good.
Great offload, and Pulatua will take it forward. Leeds have kicked off 3 times in the opening 8 minutes.
And again, we saw the prop forward, Josh Perry, proving that he really has got the strength and the drive. Not only that, gets over the advantage line, flicks the offload.
Hold, Leeds, hold, go 2.
Here goes Roby. Pops the ball up for Wilkin. An angled run which was watched by Luluai and Ablett. Lomax early, very early in the tackle count, kicking into the arms of Lee Smith, filling in at full-back for Brent Webb, who's ill.
Well, an unusual option there to kick on the third. The Mike Rose, Kieran Cunningham quite happy with keeping turning this Leeds outfit. turning them around and round. It's they haven't even got in the St. Helens half yet.
Goal 2.
Zach Hardacre for the Rhinos.
Third.
That's 3 tackles gone for Leeds.
Goal 3.
They have won 12 of the last 13 matches since losing to Wigan at Wembley last August. They're on a fantastic run.
Big problems for Kylie Luluwai. He's leaving the field of play. Looks as though he may have a strain. Now then Leeds into the opposition half for the first time.
Yes, Luluwai makes his way off. He doesn't look well. High kick from Kevin Sinfield. Gardner is underneath this. No one coming in over the top of him. And he gets the ball away to Wellens. And here comes the St. Helens response. He gets as far as McShane.
And again, poor defence by Leeds. It was a wonderful high kick. So high, it allowed the attack to get further downfield. They took 3 or 4 steps and then stopped.
Goal 2.
It was pretty obvious that St. Helens were going to be up for this game here tonight. It started in this fashion here for the first 10 minutes. It tends to happen, doesn't it, after a club release the coach and there's a freshness around the place just for the next few days. Can they maintain it for the next 70 though?
Almost through, in fact he was through Pulatua. It needed some desperate defence from McShane to stop him. Roby just shrugs them off. Great run from Roby, great support from Wilkin. More support here from Wheeler. Third try for St. Helens. They are running red hot as the Leeds Barnets. Wheeler with the third St. Helens try.
It's the James Roby factor. Little doubt in anybody's mind. You viewers watching at home and in this crowd here, they are jubilant and they have every right to be. The man is back. Here's the youngster that scored the try. Support play was superb. Defence not very good. You can see Paul McShane was just shoved away and James Roby sets it up and Wheeler finishes it. They are in a big hole at the Rhinos. Go high on this man at your peril. Wilkin, the support. And then the winger came in off the whitewash to finish it off. Red and white they may be, but it's red hot as well.
Wheeler got 2 tries against the Catalan Dragons here when he played in the centres. He was standoff last week at Bradford. Operating on the wing today, will probably switch around with Francis Melly down that left-hand side for Saints. And here is Lomax to try and add 2 more points and give the Saints an 18-point advantage. And we talk about teams looking for revenge for what happens in grand finals and things. St. Helens look in the mood here.
Well, they've had all the possession, and it is amazing to be able to just pinpoint one player on the field today, and it's this fella, Roby. He has teased them from the very first minute. It was a poor attempt by Paul McShane.
It certainly was, Steve, and he'll be disappointed. He'll have done video work and know not to go high and stand up too upright when James Roby's running at you. They'll also be disappointed with the right side of the ruck. James Roby ran to the left-hand side of the Leeds defence. Everybody on the right-hand side for Leeds switched off, and when he eventually came back there, he was able to pass the ball to John Wilkin, who's with the Wheeler through a gap. The lesson there is push up on both sides of the ruck, even if the ball is going the opposite direction.
Here's Pulatua again.
Well, we saw quite clearly when Lomax scrolled over with a step for his try, the second for Saints, and he's away again as this fella. Now this Leeds defence, it's all over the shop. And if they don't do something about it quickly, they're all grabbing high. No one's going low.
And all the passes at the moment for St. Helens are sticking like glue. And Lomax had the chance there to feign to kick and then kick properly. This time, Hall is underneath it, catches it cleanly. Steve-O, you gave the St. Helens pack of forwards a little bit of stick at Bradford last week. They are running really, really strongly tonight, the likes of LaFranchi and Josh Perry. You can't have a go at them this week.
No, they're a complete change side, aren't they? It's amazing that they've had to wait until the coach has left them before they start doing the hard work. Over the years, St. Helens have been so dominant in the forwards. They haven't been until today.
Well, 4 weeks ago, we saw them here with a big lead against the Catalan Dragons, but the concentration that evening wasn't good enough. It has to be better. I'm sure they more than anybody felt the pain from losing in the last few seconds. Have they learnt from that mistake?
The defence is pretty solid as well. That's the reason why Hardacre had to kick across field, and Melly collects it. Francis Melly gives it then to Wheeler.
And it was a poor kick, wasn't it, by Zach Hardaker. They can't afford to be able to just get in the kick away. They've got to make sure that they put the hand up. Sinfield should be telling them where to go. I want it. Kick into the corner, charge. They've got to sort themselves out. This Leeds defence, some are moving up, others are staying back. Look at Dock's back leg.
Flannery is halted right on the halfway line. Here is Wilkin, gets the ball away again. Oh, and a great offload finds O'Hire. That was Lafranchi who found him. Didn't get the ball carrying arm to the ground, Leeds, so he was able to flick the ball away. And it's Roby again. This time he is brought down by Jamie Peacock. Now it's with Lomax again. Up it goes. This is a real up and under. Comes back, bounces all over the place. Leeds have it back.
First move. Hold.
It's worth mentioning, Eddie, as we see a penalty awarded to Leeds, and this will help them out. They'll have to do all this without Kylie Luluai. We see Shenton flopping on and holding on, messing around the interference of the play ball, rightly awarded penalty, but no Kylie Luluai is a big loss for Leeds Rhinos. You went into this match thinking whatever St Helens forwards have to do, they have to match the work of Luluai and Peacock. Absolutely, Lafranchi and Perry had to step up to the mark. With Kylie Luluai off the field, and probably contributed to why he missed that tackle in the try, that will be a big bonus for St Helens.
This is Darrell Griffin, though, the man who has replaced him, and I notice Richard Moore is prowling. He's about to be entered into the fray as well.
Move. Hold. Go.
And Delaney will play the ball there, and here is Sinfield. First time really that Leeds have threatened this St Helens line. Here they come with Ablett and Hardaker. The defence by Lomax.
This is it, wait.
Ball waiting dummy half. Burrow trying to jink his way away from Shenton. Because when Shenton went off in the grand final, Rob Burrow, well, he just made hay, didn't he? Clarkson. Last tackle coming up here for the Rhinos. McShane. Hardaker puts it down. Gardner has got it back for Saints.
Not the best pass, under a lot of pressure there, but it was a little bit of the panic button at a time that Leeds really needed to camp down there. They've got to make sure the defence is solid. It was going high for Hardaker to take.
Peacock gets to Wilkin.
You'll get an idea of what they're made of defensively now, Eddie. They've got St Helens in a good position. They should be able to control this set and force St Helens into a defensive kick.
Well done, Darrell.
Roby gets the ball away. It's carried forward once again to the 30-metre line by the big pack of forwards, and then Roby with the kick. It's a great kick as well. Founds the turf, bounces the right way for Lee Smith.
First move. Wait. Go. He's play on. He's moved to the side.
Ryan Hall again for the Leeds Rhinos. Too good for Saints in 4 of the last 5 grand finals, but they've not won an away game against St Helens since March 2008.
Smart work by the skipper there. Kevin Sinfield is making sure that he's now directing traffic.
Peacock, can he stand an offload? No, he can't. 3 of them see to it. McShane is waiting at dummy half, misses out Griffin and finds Sinfield. Sinfield clattered by Flannery, wants to get up and play the ball quickly. Might have been a penalty for Leeds there. Here is Rob Burrow, fires the pass wide to Hardaker. Lomax and Shenton deal with the threat again. That's the turnover.
Well, the 2 previous plays in that set, they had an opportunity to go to the left. They had numbers stacked up against St Helens, and they actually left until the last tackle and the play that St Helens were numbered up to actually pass that direction.
Well, we've seen over the years, haven't we, that Leeds really have a very, very good short kicking game, and yet they went for the power play. Wrong option.
Wait, lads. Wait on 2. Wait. Go 2.
Roby to O'Hire, and here's Pulatua. Now it's Wheeler. And Wheeler gets it away to Melly, who is now out there on the wing.
3. Move. Back up. Goal 3.
Still inside their own half, though, the Saints. Bit of argy-bargy going on the far side as Wilkin tries to get away from Callum Watkins. Drops the ball.
Called held, tackle 4.
And the referee said he called held, so the play the ball will be taken now. John Wilkin didn't hear the call.
Tackle 4. Hold. Go 4.
Lomax flicks it up. Lafranchi gets the pass away brilliantly to Roby. Roby then to O'Hire. O'Hire to the big man. Pull to it. Opened up again down the middle. Here is Helens. Back inside it comes to Lomax. Leeds have got no answer to this. Second try for Lomax. They have split them 4 times already, St Helens. And Lomax's second try of the match. An outstanding young talent, this. 21 years of age, as I said, the current young player of the year. Well, they've come out of the dressing room tonight to prove a point, Saints.
This Leeds defence is nothing short of poor. Far too many of them just going for the grass. They've just been left there. They just strolled past Jamie Peacock. And the finish is superb. They have numbers all over the place. Delaney was complaining that the elbow was put towards him high, but Lafranchi, beautiful, beautiful offload. The stand-up O'Hire, and the big fella just strolled round Peacock as though he was not there. Helens supplies the final pass. Lomax, he gets his second, and way, way, way down that track, he'll be looking for a hat-trick.
Johnny Lomax then, bang in front. This for a 24-0 lead.
Time on.
24-0 it is. Lomax's 2 tries and 4 goals, already writing the headlines. And there's only one man who is quicker than Lomax, and that's Carl Rooney, our cameraman, up and down the line. And Carl is a massive Saints supporter as well. And no wonder he's got a smile on his face. He's enjoying this as much as all the Saints fans are.
Well, he knows, doesn't he? But his size problem's been one of attitude, not of ability. They've clearly shown here in the opening 20 minutes just what they can do. 3 breaks converted into 3 tries, and they've turned things around so quickly for the supporters here. I often said that for the last 10 years, when the sun shines and the weather's good, St Helens have been the best side in Super League. Their skill and speed is superior to every other side that they've met, and they've clearly demonstrated that here this afternoon.
Just before Lomax took that kick, by the way, Delaney and Melly were pulled together by the referee Phil Bentham, just had a word in their ear. I think a little bit about the schmozzle that was going on while the movement continued. He didn't stop it, of course. The referee, why would he? Why would Saints want him to? Nice little kick over the top as well from Lance O'Hire. Been all over the shop, hasn't he, so far this season, Lance O'Hire?
Well, he's been given the opportunity now, hasn't it, to you started off standing at standoff. He is a great utility player, no doubt about it.
Well, that's his value to the club, isn't it, I suppose?
But you wouldn't buy an overseas player to be a utility player, I wouldn't have imagined. No. When you buy a high-profile international player, you'd expect to have in your vision a position that you wanted him to play if everyone was fit.
And the number 6 on his back tells you maybe where Roy Simmons and everyone at Saints saw him operating. Let's go down to the sideline. Graham Beecroft's waiting for us.
Yes, Luluai off the pitch for Leeds, and of course he's a big miss at the moment, and they're not sure just how bad the injury is. They're assessing him in the dressing room. No real news about whether he'll be back or how quickly we'll be back if he is coming back onto the field.
Well, they're missing him, there's no doubt about it.
Move! Back up, Chris. Go, well done, mate. 3.
And Sinfield goes for a 40-20, but Helens saw to it that it wasn't going anywhere near.
They're missing an urgency in defence, Eddie. They really are. They're getting involved in stuff and getting left on the ground. St Helens are bringing the ball back that place, and there's defenders missing. They need to sharpen up. You don't often see St Helens being beaten so easily, so many offloads and so ragged in defence. Sorry, you don't see Leeds that way so often.
They're standing back. There's a lack of confidence showing right the way through this defensive line. Far too many of the Rhinos are trying to go high. When they really look at that, they're coming out of the line, one man again. Jamie Peacock. You've got to go as a unit, and they're not. Look at that, some standing back. They're waiting. You're going to suffer if you keep doing that.
Hold.
Louis McCarthy Scarsbrook to his feet eventually, plays the ball to Roby. Roby then finds Wilkin, he puts boot to ball. This is the in-goal area, and off the knees of Ben Jones-Bishop, who actually doesn't need to have made a visit to the barbers with his scrum cap. It's the same colour of all his teammates' hair. And he wears that each and every week.
And again, it just shows you the influence and the vital moments in a game of rugby league. When you put in that kick into the corner, you just keep turning them around. They are shell-shocked at the Rhinos.
Drop out again from Sinfield, this time to the 40-metre mark. Gardner looks full of it, doesn't he, today? Jamie Foster playing in the under-20s earlier. He's getting a bit of a chance to get his confidence back, the young star. Roby gives it to Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook, and LMS takes it forward to the 10-metre line. Roby again, here is Wellens, now it's Flannery. Saints are swarming all over Leeds. They've got no answer to this at the moment, the champions. Lost the ball though, Flannery.
Boy, what a relief for the Rhinos as well. They just lost control of it. We tried to impress upon the referee, Phil Banton, that there was a hand or maybe a boot, but there wasn't.
Okay, boys.
What about the relief now? And see a close-up shot of Jamie Peacock, who throughout this game so far have really struggled, especially in the defensive pattern. Oh, great tackle. Wonderful stop there.
Might have been penalised there, O'Hare. He had a little second grab at him. No way for Ben Jones-Bishop to get past those three. Watkins.
25 minutes into this game, and Leeds, they've rattled up 7 missed tackles. And afford to be doing that at this rate.
Wait, go, 4.
Griffin thought about the offload to Sinfield, then just briefly thought better of it. It's Roby, it's Burrow with the left-footed kick, and straight to Francis Merrill.
And again, look, that kick and a poor chase, and it was a poor chase. Look how easy they are getting over the advantage line.
Mark Flanagan's about to come on, those boots, a little bit purple, and he is wearing them on this charity weekend for epilepsy action. They'll be auctioned off on a well-known website after the match for the charity. There's no charity out there from Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook All Saints. Here comes Paul Clough now. For Leeds, they must feel like King Canute trying to stop the waves coming at them. One after the other. Roby, O'Hare, Wilkin, Wheeler trying to stand Watkins up, gets the ball away to Melly, flings it back inside.
It's a knock on by Leeds.
Did it go backwards? He's going to play the first one. It's head and feed to Saints.
Had the opportunity, it was a neat flick back. It was going away to the whitewash. And the big fella did very well indeed. Good stuff there by Francis Melly. And it finished up with a knock-on. No doubt about it. Daryl Griffin got the fingertips to it. It's even more pressure. Well, I don't know about how much they spent time having the hair dyed, but I think they would have been better served, Leeds, by getting the tackle backs. Because this defence is very porous indeed.
O'Hare finds Shenton, he steps through one.
Move and hold. Go.
Look where they are, and they've got a bag full of tackles remaining. McCarthy-Scarsbrook is halted underneath the sticks. Griffin was there. Roby, short ball, and again they're trying to barge their way over. Delaney and co keep Paul Clough out. Roby once again, back it comes. Wilkin, Shenton, Gardner, knock on.
Yeah. Neat little inside pass there. You could see how Shenton was going towards the corner.
Leeds celebrating the mistake here that they've forced.
Just had no
something for them to build on, maybe.
But it's been the errors from St. Helens that have given the opportunity to Leeds rather than the strong hitting in defence. They are all over the shop. Some are moving up, others are staying back. It's not a combined effort at all.
Well, Saints are mixing up their game very well. They're hitting hard in the middle, Eddie, and trying to tie up players, tie in the tight forwards for the Leeds Rhinos. and then shifting it wide, getting the ball in Shenton's hands. He hasn't seen enough early ball. We saw it very, very static last week against Bradford, but you give Michael Shenton early ball, he's going to be running against Rob Burrow. That's a battle to look out for on the right-hand side. And on the left-hand side, getting the ball out into Melly's hands. He is a handful, and he can cause Ben Jones-Bishop out some trouble out there.
28 minutes gone, the first time in the match that St Helens have fallen behind the clock. 24 points in 28 minutes, but there's a long way to go, and a long way for Leeds now to have to come back as Kirk drives it forward for them. Burrow in at dummy half, and Delaney.
Move! Go!
Burrow again.
John Wilkin.
Good work by Burrow there. Ooh, he just got to the ball in time.
Hold, hold.
There's Paul McShane waiting as Smith gets to his feet. It's Burrow. Went backwards and Sinfield picked up the pieces, but that's the last one for Leeds, and the kicker-in-chief is going to play the ball here, Sinfield.
That's clear.
So McShane just humps it downfield, left-footed, and it's over the dead ball line.
Not the best, under panic.
On his full Leeds.
Well, at 24-0, you just say to yourself, never mind the red hair, I think it's going to be red faces.
Well, I'm just sitting here enjoying it. I don't believe any team in Super League could have handled St Helens. They've been that hot to start this game. Every single player looking as if, you know, the whole season depends on this first half and where they've played so far. They're fast, they're furious, and there's great skill being demonstrated by one of the sides who I suspect might still make the grand final. I know they're sitting outside the playoffs, but they've just got too much quality out there. Some of it demonstrated with that game control now by Lance O'Hire.
That's an interesting one there. I'm not sure whether that kick is better off staying in the field for St Helens. I think that's a kick that Leeds would be happy to do and have a static start. St Helens need to keep this ball in play. Leeds are there for the taking. They could rack up more points. 10 minutes to go in this second half, or this first half.
Ian, great work on the 10 there.
Of course, if Saints win here and then they win either next week against Warrington or on Good Friday here against Wigan, they will be in exactly the same position that Leeds were 12 months ago. 4 wins and a draw from 10, and we all know what happened later on in the season, don't we? Warrington Saints is another battle royal that will be live with us on Friday. Sky Sports 1 HD and in glorious Sky 3D as well. For the first time this season, you'll be able to enjoy the Stobart Super League in 3D. And then on Saturday we go to London, who've been beaten today by Widnes, who will face Wakefield, who have recorded a super win today. That's next Saturday. Here, there is a forward pass been called against Rob Burrow.
He delayed it as well, did a little halfback, Rob Burrow. He knew it as well. As soon as Delaney took it, touch judge on that far side. See quite clearly they're out of sorts, aren't they?
That Wakefield win I was referring to, by the way, against the Catalan Dragons, one of the hot tips for the grand final. It's a funny weekend this, isn't it, for results?
Well, I hope you weren't looking at the tipsters table last Friday night on Super League Extra
Did anyone get one right?
No, I don't think so. And I think everybody's gone on Leeds in this game.
So we all know then what our top 6 tipsters are like at tipping.
Well, to be fair, Eddie, I think you'll find that that Hull is about the only one that is on our side. You could see the treatment for...
Flannery gets it away to Roby!
Can't get it down. I think he's lost it as well, has he? I don't think he's got control of that.
Phil Bentham will hand it upstairs for Ian Smith to have a look at.
Just the grounding, please.
Well,
hang on, is the I thought for a moment that Roby was hurt there.
Well, if he's kept control of this, he's done very well. Is Hardacre pulling the ball away? Is that a penalty? Is that a penalty try?
Well, Lee Smith would want to be careful. His hands are in contact with James Roby's face. And
Lee Smith has got the wrong melon here, hasn't he?
There's Hardacre pulling at the ball. Pulling at the ball. Does he steal it? There's no control there from James Roby. On this occasion, throughout this game, James Roby has been in control. It's no try, that's for sure. He's got to decide whether it was handed to a Hardacre or did he pinch it?
Or did Lee Smith commit a foul, and so it will be a penalty to Saints?
It's either a penalty or play the ball, isn't it? 7 metres out.
And so
brilliant defensive effort Leeds, Hardaker, to get underneath the ball. You've got to be brave because there's some pain involved here. He's going to land on you and hurt you at some point. You've got to deny a try, and Zach Hardaker does remarkably well to do that.
I think they've stopped him from scoring, but I think it's a penalty to St Helens.
Yeah, I think it's got
more than one strip, isn't there? And then there's the grab at the head as well.
I'm talking about the contact around the head, but we'll have a look now.
Okay.
Knock on, lads.
It's a 20-metre restart. They've deemed it was a knock-on by James Roby. He just let go. So no penalty, no try, no penalty try, a restart.
I don't understand in a season where they're so conscious of action and around the head, and we've seen a lot less given. Somebody's had a clear look 3 or 4 times at contact around James Roby's head, and yet no penalty given on that.
24-0 St Helens lead, and 8 minutes. Just fractionally less to half-time. Leeds could do with something big here, couldn't they?
Yeah, they've got to score. They realise that. They just mentally get that little bit of an uplift.
That was Clarkson, that was Smith, and this is Hardaker. And Hardaker is halted by Roby and Flannery.
Go! That's okay.
McShane, Sinfield, Ablett. Trying to brush away from Ohio, gets a brilliant pass away to Lee Smith. Good hands from Leeds now, it's Burrow, and Burrow has seen a gap. Quickly closed by Roby. Last one here for Leeds, Sinfield. Ball on the inside, great defence. Clarkson, it was up round his ears, he managed to hang on to the ball, but then he got great defensive work from Lomax. Let's have a look there, and Shenton low down.
Yeah, Shenton read it perfectly, realised that the Leeds skipper was going to flick the ball back on the inside. Surprising that Sinfield went for the power play again. That's the second occasion when they've been rare down and applying pressure on the St Helens line. Perhaps a little kick in the in-goal area. Try to get another set of 6.
Flanagan hits the deck with his purple boots
Goal 3
for epilepsy action.
behind him.
Flannery, 10 metres inside his own half, fighting to get to his feet.
Goal 4.
Roby's waiting. Missed out. Lomax found Ohio.
Clear.
High kick, but well, he wasn't interested. Ben Jones-Bishop, was he?
He should have been.
Thank you.
It was there for the taking. He took the option to just pull away from it.
And look, Rob Burrow here, he's just trying to encourage his players to get to form this scrum. Let's stop the clock. They know that in the 3 games played today, over 50 points have been scored. The weather's good, you tend to get a lot of tries in rugby league, and Leeds are hoping they can still get a few and give themselves a chance. I know it's 24 points to 0, but momentum shifts happen in rugby league, and one team gets the ball and then another penalty after a try, you can start to rack up 2 or 3 tries, as we've seen here today.
24-0, it's not a winning lead, you don't think yet? Not yet?
I don't know. I mean, it's going to be very, very difficult, but it's not a winning lead if they can get 1 try, and I think that's Rob Burrow trying to encourage his players. Listen, this isn't a lost cause, but let's find some urgency.
Well, the urgency, you're right, Phil. It's certainly not been shown by the Leeds outfit, and the defence from St Helens is quite superb.
It's a great offload that from Ryan Hall. 1 point about this 24-0 lead. If Leeds come back and win this, they would equal the greatest comeback in Super League history for a victory. That's 24 points. 5 minutes to go to half-time. They would look for a try to take with them into the dressing room. That looked forward to Ben Jones-Bishop, but it's play on, and the pass untidily finds Griffin. He then finds Watkins. This is a man who can score from nowhere.
But look how quickly Saints have got their defensive line set up. That's superb work.
Sinfield back on the inside to Ian Kirk, then further in to Burrow. He stabs it to the in-goal area, and it's just too long. Welland's able to police it over the dead ball line.
Well, they're trying a little bit of individual brilliance, but you can see that they have returned quickly. Oh, he was away. It was a full John Wilkin.
But
Gardner
came.
He couldn't offload it. Interested to see how you can see on that far side that Gary Wheeler, he's playing in the centres. They pushed Francis Melly out onto that left wing. That's certainly a ploy from Mike Rush and Kieran Cunningham.
We're getting a masterclass in how much of sport is attitude. St Helens have many of the same players that were out last week against Bradford. They look a whole different side tonight.
Look at the hole that's opened up for Wilkin. Here is Wheeler. Passes the ball inside to Helens. Helens keep the movement going to Lomax, who's on a hat-trick, of course, and Leeds somehow scramble back and get him down.
Gardner screaming for it on this right wing.
Wait, goal 4.
Roby, back he comes to O'Hire, looking for the high kick for Shenton. All he does is find Ryan Hall, and Hall does well to get back into the field of play.
Again, applying the pressure. Superb tactics.
James!
Good work by Ablett.
But then he loses the ball.
That's the third time Mark Flanagan has stopped the Leeds player dead in his tracks. He's forced the ball free as well this time. Some players are better at attacking than they are defending, and some players come on and make a difference with how they defend. And Mark Flanagan's hit here, look, shoulders in, the contact's in, the ball's free.
Okay, mate. Please ball.
It was good work as well by McCarthy Scarsbrook. Grabbed the ball carrying arm and
Says it's Leeds head and feet though, so
yeah, it went back off then.
He is saying it's Leeds head and feet.
well, it appeared to be a knock on, but
It was a as you say, Phil, you picked out the tackle from Mark Flanagan.
and I got it wrong, yeah.
Heads in. Out.
Well, 24-0, there's not many on the terraces who are annoyed about that.
First move.
All square, there might have been some screams of derision, but not at the moment. No way through for Clarkson.
the eagerness from the Saints outfit. It's certainly on show tonight. Look how they're moving up as a unit.
This is one of those halves, Steve-O, that St Helens would probably like it to continue, and Leeds will now be hoping to get into the sanctuary of the dressing room and just take stock, listen to their coach, just try and fix up a few things and work their way back into the game in the second 40 minutes. But St Helens have been very, very impressive, hugely impressive, and it's a heck of a response to the sacking of a coach.
It is.
Move!
Mike Rush and Kieran Cunningham taking control for the first time tonight. In case you've not heard the news this week, Roy Simmons left the club on Monday morning. Wellens collects. Actually, we broke that news. There's a high shot, by the way, on Wellens. We broke the Roy Simmons news on Super League full-time last Sunday, and you can pick up all the tries scored this weekend at midnight tonight on 2HD.
Well, that's silly play, isn't it? Neat kick downfield, and you can see that the little fella, Rob Barrow, just went right into the neck of the experienced fullback, captain today, Paul Wellens. This is a completely different outfit, isn't it, from what we've seen over the past 4 weeks.
Well, it is. The sun's shining. They are a dry weather, top of the ground team, the Saints, aren't they? It's coming into their period, this.
I don't think there's any team that doesn't like to play in dry weather. Saints perhaps have had better results on it, but this is the Super League champions we're watching them against, the World Club champions, and they're not performing anything close to the standards they're capable of. Great
run from Pulatua. Lomax is there. There was a hand in that by Watkins. It went backwards.
That's good work by Wheeler.
It was great work by Watkins, because the hat-trick for Lomax was beckoning there. And Mike Rush, he must be delighted with the response.
Well, it has to be, hasn't he? I mean, we said earlier of the past...
He won't be.
No, I mean, the forwards really have muscled up in the red and white today.
Mike Rush's attitude is, look, it's a job that he didn't really want to do, but he thinks so much of this club, he will do it in the interim until things are sorted out.
Backwards!
Oh, Saints are so eager. There's the half-time siren, and what a first 40 minutes for Saints, and everyone in the St Helens colours on their feet. St Helens leaving to a standing ovation from their supporters. It only took 3 minutes and Gardner got them going. Then there was 4 minutes later from Lomax, 5 minutes later from Wheeler, and after 21 minutes they were 24-0 up, and that's where they stay at half-time. Leeds at least have stopped the bleeding.
Iron Brew sponsors Super League on Sky Sports.
Gary arrives and begins dissecting the weekend's football. The show's running order is finalised. It's lunch. Then to the studio for rehearsals. Change and into makeup. Final run through. Just 5 minutes to go. They're on air. Ford Monday Night Football, Sky Sports HD.
Yeah, that was good. Good effort. Well done. Let's go again. Ready?
We all lose more than water when we sweat. Powerade Iron 4 hydrates better than water by replenishing fuel and minerals. And now, get the Powerade Olympic Games sports bottle free with Powerade promotional packs. Powerade, hydrating the 2012 Olympic athletes.
It's the most authentic action movie ever made. It will knock you out of your seat.
Hey boys, we gotta roll!
Act of Valor in cinemas now.
At Nationwide, we're committed to helping you make the most of your savings. That's why, if you transfer your cash ISA to us, you'll start earning interest as soon as we receive your application. In other words, you'll earn interest even before we've received your money. It's just another example of how, when we say we're on your side, we're not just saying it. To find out more, visit us in branch or online. Nationwide, on your side.
The new saucy barbecue stuffed crust from Domino's. Get our bite-sized boneless ribs free when you order a large now. Domino's.
Ex-Patience does digging. Take me car insurance. Did a fair bit of digging online and got 15 weeks free from Aviva, which helped me invest in this. It's big. It's big.
15 weeks free car insurance? Get the Aviva deal.
Win £576 for a £1 stake. Irish Lotto bet at your local betting shop.
QuickBooks makes accounting easier for small businesses. It's really simple to use. You can quickly create invoices and customer reports, easily manage cash flow or file VAT returns, and it organises all your finances in one place, which you can control anytime, anywhere, freeing you up to spend more time growing your business. Start your free trial of QuickBooks online today at intuit.co.uk. QuickBooks, it's about time.
This Trend Micro Titanium Internet Security beats viruses.
And gives parents control.
And keeps you safe shopping and banking.
Just £18.
Under half price.
At Currys and PC World.
This is the new home of F1 in HD.
Iron Brew sponsors Super League on Sky Sports.
Let me just quickly remind you about Super League full-time tonight. So far this weekend, we've witnessed in the Stobart Super League 63 tries. You'll see each and every one of them in the programme this week, slightly later than normal, at midnight on Sky Sports 2 HD. Not much time for chat. Lot of action, I think, tonight. St Helens 24, Leeds Rhinos 0. 4 tries here and 4 goals from Johnny Lomax, who scored 2 of the tries himself. Perfect. Perfect start for Kieran Cunningham and Mike Rush. Can't really change much, I don't think. I bet they're trying to change something here. And Brian McDermott will just be hoping that his team come out and start again in this second half. It's All Saints, John Wells.
It is, Ed. Thanks. The entire town of St Helens expected tonight. Aidy Gardner delivered, didn't he, in the most spectacular fashion. And it's Roby on his return. Here he is with a snap kick. And once this ball is in the air, there is real danger. It's one-on-one, and Gardner completely out-jumping one of the best in the business in Ryan Hall to lead. Johnny Lomax made that 2 tries, 12 points in 8 minutes. Kylie Luluai, he's the player targeted. He's injured there and he's slow to regain his feet. That's spotted by Johnny Lomax. Now just watch the lovely change of direction on the catch to exploit the injury of Kylie Luluai and going for the second try. Then James Roby involved again. Boy, they've missed him, haven't they? And none of the Leeds defenders defending this next play knew what to do. They didn't know what was coming. Roby straight into dummy half, then shrugs off the tackle of McShane and finds the gap behind those markers before dispatching Wheeler to score the third try in a quick-fire 18 minutes for St Helens. Leeds staggered back into the game. This is the last tackle, but their last tackle options, I think, they need possession and pressure. A nice little kick in there would have done. Instead, they choose to run it on the last tackle, and they get nothing for it. They paid for it as well, because Lomax was here with his second. Leeds had chances to stop this as well. That should have been closed down there. The offload allowed to get away, and there, another offload to get away. Once Pulatui is through this hole, a resultant hole, because the guy trying to take down the St Helens player, not back to his feet quick enough, through the gap, and Johnny Lomax in possession to score his second. Leeds really struggling with the pace of this game. Everything is reactive at the moment. The first up defence not good enough. There's Francis Melly. The three kick chasers they're just not showing up the meters. Easy meters for St Helens, and more importantly than the easy meters, maintained momentum for St Helens. There's Gary Wheeler on play 2. More retreating Leeds defence, more easy meters. 35 metres made in 2 tackles. That's just too easy for Saints. And Leeds, they must have covered some game plan on this short side for St Helens. Again, the last tackle. This is the third time this half they've looked to run on the last tackle, and what have they got to show for it? Absolutely nothing. Leeds absolutely blitzed that first 40. Back to you, Ed.
Yes, you're right, John. Blitzed is the word. 24 points to nil, St Helens lead. It goes without saying that the Leeds Rhinos, the champions, the World Club champions, are up against it. They have to score first.
Iron Brew sponsors Super League on Sky Sports.
Introducing Sky One, Sky Atlantic, Sky Living and Sky Arts One. Live on selected Android smartphones, iPhones, iPads or laptops, wherever you are in the UK or Ireland. Enjoy a great lineup of TV live on Sky Go. Sky. Believe in better.
So well and good you having your new Bet Victor logo everywhere, and I know you give the best prices most often in Premier League football last season, but what you need is a gimmick.
Gimmick?
Gimmick? How's about a bet on custard wrestling in play?
No.
Mascot shaving?
I don't think so.
Not now. Beat it. Advanced sheepdogging?
Definitely no.
Morris dancing on ice on your mobile?
We just stick to best prices most often in the Premier League last season.
Not custard wrestling.
No, it's not.
Bet up to £25 and get a free bet of up to £25.
Kiss me once, kiss me twice, kiss me once again. It's been a long time.
What do you think?
You've been busy. Haven't felt like this, my dear, since can't remember when. It's been a long, long time.
Why would you visit Northern Ireland just to look at the Giant's Causeway? Or wander around the home of the Titanic? When you could get lost in it all at our festivals, find your sea legs at our maritime events, or dive into our stories. You see, 2012 really is the time to jump into Northern Ireland. Visit discoverireland.com.
Finding a good instant access ISA rate that lasts can leave you feeling a little flat. Like this lady's bouncy castle. But if you're a Barclays customer, the loyalty reward ISA means you could enjoy an attractive rate for longer. Look, they're up. She likes that. And she's off having a bounce. Good old bounce. She's been bouncing on this thing for years, and I feel like I've seen this before. Take one small step to an attractive ISA rate and get in touch with Barclays.
Want a travel card that knows no boundaries? Welcome to the world of yes. Pay for your travel with points? Yes. Transfer your points to any of 10 major frequent flyer programs? Yes. Earn double points on everyday purchases in your first year? Yes. Earn 20,000 bonus points when you spend on your card in the first 3 months? Yes. Want a card that can do all that? Get the Preferred Rewards Gold Card from American Express.
This is the new home of F1 in HD.
Iron Brew sponsors Super League on Sky Sports.
Well, I venture to suggest on this balmy evening that this has been the best 40 minutes that St Helens have had in 2012. 24 points to 0 is the scoreline that we have. They've played so well against the Leeds Rhinos team that have got these red heads on. And I don't wish to be churlish, and Steve-O, we support charities, a myriad of them during the course of every season, but when I hear the teams are having their hair dyed and have a red hair day and all that sort of thing, I fear. And I think the Leeds Rhinos supporters will be fearing what's coming in the second half.
I think you're right, Eddie. To me, it's slightly unprofessional. As you say, you can do many things towards charity. You don't have to do something that, well, you see on TV and everybody will applaud that. But as you mentioned, I'm not so sure that these Leeds fans who've come over and paid for their tickets to come in, I don't think they'll be wondering, was it a good idea? Did it put them in the right frame of mind? Perhaps not. But when you look at the fact that they made 14 missed tackles against only 1, that says it all. Forget about what colour they're wearing. This, on this left-hand side, are the Leeds Rhinos, the World Club champions, and I'm afraid are the champions of this country, and they are not even getting anywhere near the mark. And an improvement has to come in this second stand.
Well, we draw a line under it, as I say. We don't want to be churlish. We won't mention it again, but I think people know what we're talking about. Down to Graham Beecroft for the half-time news.
Yes, thanks, Eddie. It was interesting when the teams went in at half-time. The Leeds team, their coach, Brian McDermott, stood on the touchline and clapped encouragingly as they went past. And the message from the dressing room is, we're a better team than we showed in the first half. We've got to go out and prove it in the second. As far as Saints are concerned, Kieran Cunningham told me they've got to keep doing what they have been doing. Nothing changes, he says.
Well, what a great kick, what a great chase, and there was no way that Lee Smith was getting out of trouble, but I think, and he did, he actually has his foot over the dead ball line.
He's gone through that pain for nothing then, Eddie.
It can't be play on, can it?
So once at that point there, the ball's dead and it's a goal line drop it, he gets hit by 4 defenders here.
And he gets clattered for his pains, Lee Smith. He should have turned around and gone the other way.
Well, there was a tad more urgency that was needed from Lee Smith there. Get to the ball as quick as you can and then make your decision.
I think he believed it was running dead.
Well, absolutely. But if you're going to make that decision, you've got to get to it a lot quicker. The thing with Steve-O's mentions the missed tackles, Eddie, from the first half. It wasn't just the plain missed tackles, it was the ineffective tackles as well. St Helens managed to offload the ball 13 times. 6 of them came from that man, James Roby. So there'll be a message going ahead across the Leeds players. We've got to tie up the ball, lock up the ball, and do not let them do offload and play off the back of that.
Wonder what Royce will be thinking as he's watched that first 40 minutes.
Well, he's obviously got to be thinking that, why didn't they do this for me? And the man that's just about to play the ball, if it had come back, say, a week earlier, it could have all been changed. He could have still had a job.
Wellens, the defence has melted again, and Wellens is over for the next St Helens try. And he just pats the badge that he wears proudly on his chest. And he was so honest at Bradford last week when he said they're probably trying too hard at that point in time. Well, he absolutely carved the Leeds Rhinos defence open, much to the delight of those two people, I'm sure, like a hot knife through butter. Pearl Wellens with the try, his 202nd career try, and 14 of them now have come against Leeds.
Goal came about by the fullback Lee Smith. It took an eternity to make the decision. It turned out to be the wrong one. And you can see there, they are in all sorts of trouble in defence. No sliding through. Callum Watkins went out wide, and the step was sufficient. It is the easiest of dummies. It is poor defence. Take nothing away from this man, who time and time again has got the St. Helens side out of so many holes. But boy, he's on top of the mountain at the moment, and they're looking down on the World Club champions, who are absolutely stunned.
And while Paul Wellens and the Saints supporters were celebrating that try, I can tell you the Leeds captain, Kevin Sinfield, was giving his teammates the rounds of the kitchen. Lomax to add the extras. This for 30-0, and 30-0 it is.
You know, scoring the try was almost the easy bit. Johnny Lomax has put 2 more points on the board, but it was his kick and the skill and the effort that they had to demonstrate to gain themselves a field position. Look at where he's kicked this from. Inside his own half of the field, to kick it over 50 metres, to get it to sit in the in-goal area. The accuracy of that is phenomenal, and the chase then complemented it, gave them the position, and what they've done tonight, which they couldn't quite do against Bradford, is convert field position into points.
Look at Louis McCarthy, Scarsbrook. And look at Kevin Sinfield, that was what I was talking about. While Lomax was lining up the kick, Sinfield was giving his team a rocket.
He's embarrassed, and all the team are embarrassed, and so are the fans that have come over the Pennines.
Well, he is, Steve. The narrative of this story for Leeds is going to be defence. I'm a big fan of Callum Watkins, especially when Leeds are on fire and they've got the ball and they're attacking. He looks very, very good. World beater he looked last week against Salford. Defensively, though, there's a lot of stuff to be worked on, and Callum Watkins and Brett Delaney in that instance were badly exposed by St. Helens. They're going to have to get the communication working better, because that's not going to be good enough.
Ryan Hall's got 3, pounding him down. McCarthy Scarsbrook gets him down eventually, and he's loitering with intent in the ruck there. Louis McCarthy Scarsbrook could have been penalised.
He should have been penalised, never mind could have. He made no attempt to come back into the defensive line.
Tremendous tackle by Wheeler on Lee Smith.
Boy, if ever the Rhinos, they really do need to get a break. Got to get a try on the board. They've got to get something to lift their spirits. They're looking lost.
That's clear. These are okay.
High kick from Sinfield. Gardner called for it. Good call, because Wellens was after it as well.
That shows you the confidence running through the veins of this red and white outfit. When the ball goes high, you say, hey, come on, it's mine. Decisive.
Okay. 3.
We made a point last week, Eddie, in regards to the loss of James Graham and how important it has been to this Saints outfit. But you've got to say the same for James Roby. Since he's been away, they just have not been the same side.
They lost 2 of the games, Steve, with him in the side, didn't they? It's not been the only factor.
No, and they say that one man doesn't make a team, but this fellow on the ball now and giving it to Lomax, he is special.
Well, he's 2 men, isn't he? That sometimes his work rate, you think he must have a twin brother on the field, because the amount of runs he makes, the amount of tackles, and the quality of his work is sensational. But he needs his teammates to play with a similar attitude, which they have done tonight.
Shenton with the tackle there on Ryan Hall. You know, this is a game of inches, isn't it? And Shenton, when he was on the field at Old Trafford, Saints were winning the grand final. He went off, Leeds poured down where he would have been defending at Old Trafford last October. And when you think about it, had Tony Pulatua taken that pass close to the post of Bradford last week, who knows what might have happened over the past 7 days.
Yep, one pass and you get the sack.
Go.
Burrow pops it up to Peacock again.
5. Move.
Whose hair actually does look more luminous than anybody else on that field, Jamie Peacock. McShane's kick was not played at.
He's gone back. Play on.
And that's now back to 0 in the tackle count. Leeds keeping this ball alive. I think Burrow's heard the call from Bentham. If he looks now, he'll see him wiping the tackle count down. And Burrow is hurt.
Got a bad knock.
Tab off. On the neck. It's on the neck.
Well, that's big man against little man. Tony Pulatua trying to tread the strip.
Well, I don't think there's anything untoward with the downward pressure.
I think he just collided with Pulatua's body, didn't he?
Yeah. That's
Bang.
it. Yeah, it's the neck.
Thanks, mate.
See how the head goes into the shoulder.
Well, let's hope he's all right, Rob Burrow. This is his first start
Offset his feet.
at scrum half since that Castleford Cup semi-final last August. He came on, scored a try and got man of the match against the Saints at Old Trafford in October. Tony Pulatua looking quite anxiously as Burrow receives treatment.
Phil spoke earlier about overseas signings, so Tony Pulatua is up there with the best that St Helens have made in recent years. He's a handful. I don't think teams like playing against Tony Pulatua at all. Anywhere close to the try line, you're going to have to get 2 or 3 men in a tackle to stop him, and he's also got a great reach and can ground a ball. He's one of the best signings that they've made, and he's a big addition to that squad.
Well, this will be a bitter blow to the Rhinos if the little fella Rob Burrow has to leave the field of play.
It was an accident with Pulatua. There was absolutely nothing in it at all. It was just a collision with the upper body of the big Kiwi. And Burrow up on his feet, and nice gesture from Pulatua, just tapped him on the shoulder. That's what this game's all about.
Great respect, haven't they?
Here goes Ian Kurtz now for the Rhinos. Can they get something out of this?
James, hands.
Here's Richie Moore just on the field.
Well, Rob Burrow will not be 100%, but he's about the only player I could say that at Leeds at the moment that could come at something that they might do on this occasion.
They will with Ben Jones-Bishop. The ball was flicked out wide. Ben Jones-Bishop takes a clatter, but he's got the 4 points. Or has he? It's going upstairs to check the grounding. It looked perfect from up here, but the referee wants Ian Smith to have a closer look. Oh, and there might be a knock-on in the build-up, is there? Nothing wrong with the grounding.
Grounding's fine.
Whether it's come off a Leeds hand after it's been passed
Smith
across.
linking in from the full back.
Does that go forward from Callum
It's
Watkins?
flicked off Watkins' hand.
It's gone forward, hasn't it?
Well, they can't go for a forward pass, can they? Not allowed to utilise a forward pass. So he's got to be classified as a knock-on.
Which it is. That's why the try has been scrubbed off. Knock on.
Well, that's because he can't utilise a forward pass, can he?
Well, he doesn't knock on because the ball doesn't hit the floor. So
I was just going to say, what if it was a tip-on? Steve-O's making a good point. They can't judge that. He's a tip-on. If he tried to flick that with his hand and went forward, he would not be able to go to the video referee and decide on that.
I never wish to argue with you, but that didn't look a tip-on to me.
My point is, I understand it's not a tip-on, but the point is you can't judge unless it's hit the ground.
No try, anyway.
It has to hit the ground or hit the opposition.
Scarsbrook will go down, but another one of your own teammates cannot nullify a knock-on, Steve-O, can he?
No, I'm talking about the opposition. If it had hit the opposition, it could be classified as a knock-on.
We're talking round and round in circles here because it was a Leeds player who knocked it on and a Leeds player who picked it up. End of discussion. No try.
You may think so.
It's a big question about whether Saints.
Look at that defence. Oh, sorry, Phil, but this defence tonight from St Helens, they must feel very, very proud.
Do you think there's a chance they could keep them scoreless for the full game? I mean, Leeds only once, Eddie, in the entire Super League competition. You've got to go back to 1998, the last time that they were nil. And really are a phenomenal effort here if they can hold them out for another 30 minutes.
Well, they got very close not long ago. Here is younger Stevie Ward, the 18-year-old. Highly rated, this young fellow, being compared to a young Kevin Sinfield in the Headingley area. And Sinfield with the high kick. And Melly with a successful take under pressure from Ben Jones-Bishop.
Eddie, can I just make the point? I'd like to distance myself from that and say it was a knock-on. I've had time to reflect on it. And I think I'm going to have to leave you on your own, Steve-O.
Talk about the sinking ship.
Yeah. Wouldn't like to rob a bank with him, would you, Steve-O, really? Hey?
Wait! Goal, 3. Richard.
O'Hire inside the 40, he's gone for a 40-20 here. Lee Smith's after it with some urgency, gets it about a metre or so infield. Look at the chase led by O'Hire.
Tremendous. He's had a wonderful game as a stand-up O'Hire. His kicking game has been superb. He's just kept turning this Leeds outfit, turning them back round and round again, and they've had to just roll up the sleeves. And the way that his forwards are playing in the middle there.
Listen to this crowd, come on you Saints, they want more. They want more than the 30 points in the half hour we've got remaining. Little half break almost by Hardaker. McShane quickly in at dummy half. Sinfield gets the ball away to Ryan Hall, and Hall steps through them and he puts his foot down. Hardaker, missed tackles all over the place, and Hardaker gets the try for Leeds. Something for them to build on. Surely the biggest comeback in Super League history isn't on, is it? But Zach Hardaker, good support play from Leeds in the St Helens half. Some dodgy defence from the Saints, but Hardaker over. Sinfield's going to add the goal, and it's going to be 30 points to 6 in a minute.
Well, it certainly needed something. Now McShane, that's forward, and Sinfield was about half a metre in front. What you're watching at home has just been witnessed by the big St Helens crowd here. Take nothing away from Leeds, at least they had the support, and not the best, was it? The final act, one of the very few missed tackles from Saints, but the Rhinos are on the board.
And the leading point scorer in Leeds Rhinos history, Kevin Sinfield, at it again.
No doubt in my mind, and I'm sure there are thousands all over this country that would agree. Not often, but I think on this occasion they might have to.
And of course they cannot refer the video referee to forward pass decisions, but we can all see it afterwards.
What it is, there is a lesson there. St Helens will be disappointed that the referees missed that. There is a lesson there that how good Leeds are at finishing plays. You give them a chance and they can score a try. There's no doubt about that with the quality of player they have on the field. They just need to tighten up their defence, and they could do with a try coming, again, I guess, in the next 5 or 10 minutes to really get their confidence up and have a good run in towards the end of this game.
Well, Saints went at the rate of a point a minute. Leeds have got to follow suit if they're going to get anything out of this. Kevin Sinfield, by the way, that's the 49th consecutive game in which he has scored. Tremendous record from this young man. A consummate professional. Moore plays the ball quickly. Here is Ablett now. It's with Watkins. They've suddenly got the sniff of something, Leeds, and Watkins hauled down by Melly. Quick play the ball. Here comes Sinfield. Didn't pass. They were loaded down that left-hand side, the Rhinos. McShane, they're going that way again now.
Too
Smith,
strong.
poor kick.
Yeah. Poor finish, and they had the opportunity as well, because Louis McCarthy Scarsbrook, he's receiving treatment in back play. He was anywhere near the defensive line, and Leeds just couldn't spot it.
Callum Watkins showing us what he can do, Eddie, in attack. He's a real weapon on this right-hand side, and Leeds would do well to get the ball in his hands a bit more and a bit earlier.
Well, from a purely neutral point of view, wouldn't it be good if Leeds got a couple of tries here in the next 5 minutes?
Well, like Catalan did here a few weeks ago, Eddie.
Yes. Yes, they had that game well and truly won, but this is a different St Helens side we're watching tonight. Wellens will take them on again. That's the last one, this set of 6. Referee signals that with his arm in the air, and here is O'Hire. Gets it away to Wilkin, goes up high off the boot of Wilkin. And Ben Jones-Bishop diffuses the ball in goal. Tap on the 20. Leeds are urgent, aren't they? Almost for the first time tonight.
Yeah, there's a bit of spark in their play, isn't there? Confidence going running through their veins now, and they really want to get into it. But Saints realise they've just got to keep their defence solid as they have done. Okay, it's a bit poor in defence that allowed them Hardaker to go in for that try.
You know, we're going to see some
forward,
and we're going to see some ball movement here. Leeds won't die wondering here whether they could have got back from this game. They'll promote the ball, keep it alive if at all possible, take some risks. It might mean that they concede more points, Eddie, but it will certainly provide us with some entertainment.
It will, and Kylie Luluwai is back out there. Here he is, first touch since he's come off the bench. Seems to get a nasty bang in the first half. It's the last tackle here. The chip over the top will find touch, and Leeds will hunt the mistake deep in St Helens territory.
Well, I'm not so sure that that's a good kick from McShane. What was wrong with the high bomb? You know, put them under pressure. Okay, it's allowed St Helens just the time to get their breath back, just take it nice and steady.
You're in your opponent's half of the field. You've effectively just given them the ball without putting any pressure on them.
Okay, Josh. Ready for it, time off.
Well, as I say, they are going to look for a mistake, Leeds. If they can force an error from this St Helens team tonight. They've been pretty error-free, though, haven't they? Pretty much, the Saints. What are the stats telling us about the errors, Phil? Do you know? Have you got it on your tablet? You can have a look for us.
We've just had a few problems with it tonight.
Okay. Okay.
Wait, go. That's it.
Get a new valve in it, Phil. Plug it into the main.
Oh, that was a high shot, and he's missed it.
Touch his arm.
Yeah, he's seen it. Referee missed it.
Jamie, lower.
But there's little doubt about this one. Peacock right over the top. A little bit of help from the loose forward, Carl Ablett. There's a little bit of claret running through.
A bit more care, Jamie. Time off.
Well, we can't find a ball at the moment. Now we've got one.
Wait for it, lads.
To show St Helens are all that eager to restart. They a little bit of a storm to get over with Leeds.
Josh Perry on the ball and making his first start tonight since last July. He's looked a lot more urgent, hasn't he?
Back, Richard.
All the forwards have, Eddie. The entire team, you could just sense the difference, couldn't you?
Hold, mate, hold. Goal 3, not square, Richard.
Roby loses it, knocked on.
Roby claiming that it was poached, but I think you'll find that they just grabbed the arm, and it was good work there by Kylie Luluwai.
That was a knock on by Leeds then, really, wasn't it?
No, Luluwai went for the ball carrying arm.
You didn't touch the ball, you don't think, no?
Okay,
you're in one of those moves.
No.
You've just mentioned about Clarkie's tablet. It's about time you took one.
We've talked about Phil Clark's tablet. We'll talk about Steve-O's pills before we go off the air, the way we're going.
Well, the important thing for Leeds is that they've had the pill. The ball really been in their hands in this third quarter of the match. It's given them a chance to look a little bit better. Shifting it here now wide, trying to find Watkins, but poor last pass to him.
That went forward again.
Yeah, not seen by the officials, but Leeds at least. A little bit more energy,
dig, aren't they?
Yeah, more energy. They've got nothing to lose.
Here's young Stevie Ward. Flannery gets in front of him. Smith goes wide to Ryan Hall, and he keeps it alive, but only finds Johnny Lomax.
Good work by Lomax. Trailed back on the inside. Sometimes, if you're nowhere near to be able to put the tackle, you're just positional play. And on that occasion, that was excellent. Put yourself in between. You may come up with it. On that occasion, he did.
Wilkin in centre field for Saints. And you won't stop St Helens being flamboyant, even though the opposition's trying to be as well.
Hold, lads.
O'Hire in directing operations from the play the ball. This is Sean McGuinness, isn't it?
Goal, ball back.
Haven't seen him so far this season. Wheeler.
Fine, move.
Last tackle for St Helens coming up here. Kick from O'Hire.
He's clear.
Yes, down centre field.
And it's a good one as well.
Okay,
stands up though perfectly for Ryan Hall.
Got the numbers there. Great stuff. He's had a big game.
Gardner.
He's had a big game as Gardner's. He'll be really pleased to get back into the thick of things.
Got a flying start, didn't he, literally, after 3 minutes with the try.
Hold, goal 2.
Young Jamie Foster for the time being rebuilding a bit of confidence maybe in the under-20s.
Move! Wait! Goal, 3.
McShane. Peacock.
4.
The England captain won't turn it in.
Hold here.
While there's
Goal,
hope.
4.
Sinfield. Luluai.
5. Move! Wait, fellas, wait! Goal, well done, pal. Well done,
Sinfield
Josh.
again. Right down the middle of the field.
Richard, 10.
Turning Wellens around.
And that's a better change by the Rhinos as well. They've got the numbers up.
1.
Hardaker brings Wellens to the ground.
Hold! Goal!
Here goes Gardner again.
Move!
The biggest problem for Leeds is that they realise with the scoreline 30 points to 6 that St Helens, all they have to do is just keep possession, put themselves in a good position. The kick and chase, it may be a little bit boring, but it's effective.
Perry thought about the pass.
4. Move!
Thought better of it. Kept hold of it.
4, goal. 5. Move!
Last tackle on
This is it,
Roby.
Rich. Well done, pal.
Blind side.
Outside, yep.
Over the head of Lee Smith and too strong.
And they won't worry about that. They know they can line up on the 30-metre line, while Leeds, they'll try to get back as quickly as possible.
He's not back.
And not all the
Shane's not back.
Leeds team had got back over the line before it was
Good talk,
tapped.
Tony, well done.
But a different style to the St Helens defence tonight, in as much that out wide they've formulated an umbrella defence coming in on the angle. For most of the time they've allowed Rhinos only one option, that's go down the middle.
Ablett here for the Rhinos, gets the offload away to Sinfield. A knock on by McShane. It was a bullet pass.
Yeah.
But they're keeping it alive, Leeds. They've no alternative other than to do that, really.
Just a lack of concentration, didn't anticipate it with the hooker.
What's that, pal?
I'll be very disappointed Sinfield is just recently got over that wonderful mark of the great Lewis Jones.
Well, every team is going to have a lull at some stage. It looks like it's Leeds has won tonight, but what is going to make it interesting is next week's game, Warrington St Helens, because coming here tonight, St Helens had to perform. Whether or not they won, it was important that they put in a good performance. I think this 2 points that they're going to get tonight is going to be an extra bonus, and again, it sets it all up for Sky Sports 1 HD, 7:30 p.m. on Friday, which should be a ripper of a game.
And don't forget 3D, Brian. It's also in 3D next Friday. Sky's glorious 3D. We'll bring you the best of the action from the Stobart Super League. If you're going to read the thing, Brian, read the lot, okay?
I lost interest after a while there, Eddie. You take it over.
Well, you can't lose interest if you want the big job one of these days. This is Ohio, short ball to Wheeler. Wellens is waiting 10 metres out, Saints. Don't look like they are going to die wanting tonight and wondering tonight. This is McGuinness. He will play the ball here to Roby. Back it will come to Ohio. Drops it onto the foot. Work to do here for Ben Jones-Bishop. The chase is magnificent.
The combination of the kick and the chase by the stand-up Lance Ohio is quite superb. They really have controlled it right from the very start. They got off to the flyer, as Eddie's always mentioned, but he's had a big game, very instrumental with the kicking game. Gone for the short one, and it hasn't made it.
Yeah, it doesn't go to 10. A St Helens penalty. Frustration for Brian McDermott. Knew this was going to be a difficult assignment tonight for a whole host of reasons.
Yep.
And Perry will drive it forward on the first. The penalty on the 10-metre line. Glorious opportunity here for St Helens. It's with Lomax. There's runners all around him. One of them is Ohio. He's got inside them. He'll score. Lance Ohio grounds an excellent personal display. First try for St Helens for the New Zealand international Lance Ohio. stand-up just once prior to tonight, the 36-all draw at Hull Kingston Rovers. A man who's one of the most decorated players ever to pull on the jersey of the New Zealand Warriors back home, has just scored his first try for Saints and has confirmed that Saints will win, but despite the win, they won't get into the top 8 tonight.
They went for the short dropout, didn't make the 10, the build-up, and what a finish for this fella. The stand-off, Manto Haya. He has been quite superb. His kicking game has just put the Rhinos on the back foot throughout the match, and that was a perfect little dummy. Ablett won't like to watch that again and again. Dummy on the step, Ablett couldn't get himself into a good position to put the hit on him. And listen to this crowd.
This new ground as well.
They found the new heroes.
And when you think about it, after their back-to-back defeats here against the Catalan Dragons and Hull, this is Saints' first really top-quality display on this ground. And aren't the crowd absolutely loving it? Lomax, it's easy for him. And it's easy for Saints, 36-6.
Very confident indeed. The return of James Roby has been significant, but this guy, he has been instrumental in turning things around in the red and white jersey.
Two significant players, Steve-O, in the lead up to that try. It's the work of Johnny Lomax and the work of Mark Flanagan running short. When John Wells does his review of that, you'll see that Jamie Peacock was held up. Ultimately, it was Jamie that tried to stop Lance Ohia, but the work that had been done in delaying him meant he wasn't able to finish off the tackle, and Saints were able to extend their lead.
Square Leeds, goal 2.
Well, there's some big matches coming up. Just a moment. Here is Wilkin, and Wilkin is looking for support. He might not need anybody. Yes, he does.
Lomax was looking at the hat-trick. He could have offloaded.
Here's Ohia. They just delayed the hat-trick. They've got at least a 2-on-1 overlap wide. They're going that way with Shenton. Further wide with Gardner. It looked a touch forward, maybe to Gardner. But the referee gives it, and it's his second try for Eddie Gardner. He missed the game last week against Bradford. He's come back to torment Leeds Rhinos and their fans.
And it came about by yet another missed tackle. Take nothing away from the break from the second row of John Wilkin. Here's the man that scored it. Second try of the night. Short pass, Wilkin through. He had Lomax on the inside. He had a look, then decided to go on his own. Lee Smith got there eventually, but they were always going to struggle. Once again, the Leeds defence, some have gone up, others are staying around, others are pointing, and it's called an overlap. Well finished.
You know, it takes some skill to get the ball from one side of the field to the other when there are defenders moving up. 6 passes here, transfer it from the left wing to the right. And it might not win the try of the month, but that's the try of the game for me.
Gardner. Well, it's looking like a rout, isn't it now? They haven't won an away game here since March 2008, the Leeds Rhinos, and they're not going to win tonight. Here's Lomax. Can he kick this? Can he kick this? You bet he can. 42-6.
Well, like Phil says, you have to be able to move the ball, and St Helens could certainly do that. Some long passes finding his hand into Roby's hands, and Wellens. And a nice little play by Mike Flanagan, and Michael Shenton, like a good centre's play, holding the ball long enough, put A.D. Gardner in the corner, and the St Helens fans, well, they'll be delighted. They'll also be asking the questions, where was this performance last week? The defeats have been close. Roy Simmons, I'm sure, scratching his head and saying, what he would have given to have Johnny Roby, Johnny Lomax, A.D. Gardner back for last week's game against Oddsall, but that's gone now, and St. Helens move on.
So let's try again and tell you what we've got coming up this Easter. It's not too far away now. Warrington Widnes Thursday at 8 o'clock. Then Hull KR on Good Friday at noon. Sky Sports 2 HD again. Followed immediately, we'll be here for Saints and Wigan at 2:30. And then we're heading off to the south of France on Easter Monday for the Catalan Dragons against the Warrington Wolves. Our now traditional trip at Easter down to the hopefully sunshine of the south of France on Easter Monday. Some great games coming up, and next Friday Warrington Saints at the Halliwell Jones Stadium will be another cracking Friday night. It's got all the makings of another classic for a Friday. We had one this week, Wigan Warrington. We've got that one next Friday, 1 HD and Sky 3D, and then between that and the Easter programme, the Broncos and the Wildcats, Sky Sports 1 HD 5:30. And Wakefield banging form after their victory today against the Catalan Dragons, 32-22. London losing to Widnes 38-30. So plenty to look forward to next weekend.
And again, the St. Helens defence just moving forward. They really have out-muscled their opposition. It's a long time since I've seen a Leeds pack being forced into submission throughout this particular game. And that's a charge down. Wilkin will again. No, it looks like Wheeler will get there first. Oh, he's got there. He's going to get there. No.
Well, there's some advertising boardings that need fixing now. Luckily, it wasn't anything that needed fixing on Gary Wheeler. He just put a little bit too much weight on the kick.
Good charge down by Wilkin. I think it was more self-defence there, and Wheeler said, what on earth have I done?
Bang!
Yeah, get out of the way.
You nearly got one of the photographers as well.
Go! 10 points for that one.
Here's Ablett.
Third! Move!
He's okay. I'm fitting well.
Well, he might be. The camera might be ruined.
Watkins. McShane is waiting into the last 10. Saints, a big victory, a big statement of intent from them tonight, but they stay, let me say once again, they stay outside the playoff places despite the weight of this victory and the significance of this victory. Well, they're playing high on confidence. Look at this. Here's Melly, and Wheeler says, go on, you take the run.
Well, at 42-6, you've got to say that you can afford to do things like that. Oh, that look forward from Lance O'Hare.
They've certainly refound the confidence. You know, they started the season, Eddie, with returning kicks in that fashion. They won their first two games, and then things just drifted away from them. The bounce the ball went against them, and again, let's just remember, 3 of the 4 defeats that we talk about were by less than a try and a goal. They went into the last minute of 3 of those games with a chance of winning, but they weren't quite capable of pulling off that marvellous St. Helens comeback. Here's a knock on now as they're just keeping the ball alive. I guess it's tough, you know, in the last 10 minutes. The aim of the game is to win the match. They've clearly done that. And I think mentally, when you know it, it's very hard. Everyone says, oh, you've got to stay professional, play for 80 minutes, but that's tough.
There's been a sharpness, though, in this performance. I take your point about there were narrow defeats. Catalan Dragons, it couldn't have been any later in the game. Bradford, they certainly had a chance to win that. They drew with Hull KR. But there's been an attitude in this performance that we haven't really seen from St. Helens. They were slack in their victory over Salford. Salford, in fact, I think going in front at half-time. But this has been a different display from St. Helens, and it'll be a warning to all the other squads in Super League that this is the team that's ready to finish the season strong.
Another 15,000 crowd inside the new Langtree Park tonight. The lowest they've had so far this season's been just over 13,000 for that epic game that ended in the last minute with that dramatic try by the Catalan Dragons. But their crowds are on the up at this new stadium, and this is the biggest crowd ever to see this fixture in St. Helens tonight. It's a great facility, and the public of St. Helens have warmed to it already, and their players look like maybe they are now too. Peacock has lost the ball there. Wellens has swooped on it. Here comes Lomax again. And I watched your programme, Steve-O, on the website this week with Rod Studd, and I think it was Phil Kaplan, one of the journalists, said maybe, you know, this stadium also conspired to see the end of Roy Simmons, because the last thing that the St Helens board would want is for the club to go through a bit of a slump and these 15,000 people turn away from this new ground. I can see where he was coming, and I know you dismissed it out of hand.
Well, the thing is, it's nothing to do with the actual stadium or whatever.
No, but it's an expensive facility, and they need the people to come, and they are at the moment. They go through the horrors and they don't turn up. I think that's the point he was trying to make.
Yeah, and he's right in many ways, but also they've got the fact that some of these players that play for St Helens in those games, and we've already mentioned the fact that they didn't get hammered, did they? They didn't get drubbed.
No.
And as you say, pull it to you to taking that ball last week, then maybe Roy Simmons would have been it. I think the St Helens club panicked. Okay, it's paid off. They'll be all smiles, and they've every right to be. But this is a changed attitude from St Helens tonight. And it's all about attitude. The forwards have done their work.
It'll be a changed attitude if they back this up with victory at Warrington on Friday.
My word.
I don't think we can be critical of Emma McManus and the St Helens board. For the last decade, they get more decisions right than they get wrong. It's the reason why they've been to the last 5 grand finals, and they won one before that, didn't they? So they were the winners 6 years ago. They make a lot of good decisions, and the tough ones as well. It's easy to say don't sack the coach. I'm sure it wasn't what Emma McManus wanted to do. It was one that he thinks was the right decision for the club.
Hold on.
Yes, long term, who knows? Gardner did well. Gardner did very well. He managed to stay in the field of play also.
The St Helens players, they've come tonight and said, we've got something to prove to ourselves. The experienced players, he did exceptionally well there. He's been half an inch away from that, and look at this. Sheer power, he's had a big night.
Well, Aidy Gardner's been, I guess he summed up the St Helens performance. His try in the very first minute, the determination he showed out jump Ryan Hall, who we know is very, very good in the air, I guess signified that St Helens meant business.
Look at this kick from Wilkin that just goes over the touch and goal line. Shenton was herring after that. That was another good kick.
Showed his pace, didn't he? The centre, Michael Shenton, on that occasion.
I say, you go back to last October, he stays on the field, who knows? Saints might have won the grand final. Might have.
Paul Wellens also got injured maybe late in the game, so they lost a centre and a fullback.
Watkins is
mistake here. Is that play on?
It is, and O'Hare has dribbled it round the winger, and Ben Jones-Bishop just thumps the ball over the dead ball line. It's a goal line dropout. Had that been a try for O'Hare, there might have been a big question mark over it.
It was a neat little trip move on it. Stuff, and he did the right thing. Let's get out of here. He's had a big game as well, hasn't he, Paul Wellens? Such an honest player.
Well, he was so honest last week.
Yeah.
Look at that. 5 times they've made Leeds kick the ball out from underneath the post. He's gone for the sideline again this time. Has he found it?
No, he hasn't. All he's found is Tony Pulatua. Well, 42-6, 3.5 to go.
Johnny Lomax is screaming to get someone so he can run off.
He wants his hat-trick, doesn't he, just to make it the perfect night for him. Louis McCarthy Scarsbrook didn't get the pass away to Lomax, will take the tackle instead.
And he's made a big impact as well. He came off the bench, McCarthy Scarsbrook.
Here's Lomax, pops it up to Wilkin, cut out pass, Wheeler, second try for Gary Wheeler. Whatever they've done, whatever they've said in training this week, Mike Rush and Kieran Cunningham have found the magic formula.
And I think that formula, Eddie, was go into your bathroom and look into the mirror and ask yourself a very honest question. Are you playing up to what you should be? And the answer was no. Tonight, the answer is yes. They have all played their part. This is a team that's got back into the winning ways.
See, that's what it means to Mike Rush.
Yep.
St Helens through and through. And it's one of his own, that, isn't it, Gary Wheeler? One that he's brought through the ranks. I don't think he's ever coached at this level before, but he's coached juniors, youngsters, you know.
That's where he's made his name.
Yes.
And I must say, he has made his name so efficiently that no less than 4 Australian clubs over the past 3 or 4 years have tried to poach him to go and live down under.
But he won't leave St Helens.
No, he's done very, very well, and he's given whoever the future coach will be a great bunch of players to build on. There's no doubt about that. And they can add to it with quality overseas stars, and this man is certainly one of the better homegrown young ones.
Here's another of Rushie's boys, Johnny Lomax. 7 from 7. This for 8 from 8. Oh, he's human after all. Smile on his face and they're booing.
Well, that's it. They executed that play excellently. Johnny Lomax, he's cut out a very, very good defender in Kevin Sinfield. And I guess it's hard to know what they should have done on that side. Colin Watkins and Ben Jones-Bishop, hot flat-footed. Kevin Sinfield as well, and Gary Wheeler able to slip through. But it's more the quality of the play that St Helens did than poor defending by Leeds.
Here comes Wheeler again then. St Helens looking to finish on the front foot in the last minute of the match. Paul McGuinness.
It's been a tremendous team performance, this. They really have upped the tempo. The support play has been great. We've already, throughout this game, mentioned that their defence has been superb, but the stars have really hit the high spots tonight.
And Frankie, Perry, the forward pack have taken it to Leeds, haven't they, from the very first whistle?
Yep.
Cheers. Wilkins spreads it wide to Lomax. Is the time for the hat-trick for Lomax? No. 20 seconds remaining, 46-6.
It's hard to say that there's been a poor player on the St Helens side tonight.
Ohio just pumps that over the top. That will run dead.
That should just about do it.
They are counting down to a priceless victory here. The rot has been halted. And there's the full-time siren. 46-6. Wilkin and co, the experienced hand, Eddie Gardner, the youngsters like Lomax and Wheeler, they all have contributed to this victory. And let's look back through the eyes of John Wells on it.
Thanks, Eddie. The half-time break provided only temporary respite, didn't it, for the Rhinos? An early repeat set here, earned through committed Saints kick chase. Really forced Lee Smith back in. He was waiting for that to go dead. There's the Saints kick chase. And that really laid the platform and led to the opening score of the second half. Scored by Paul Wellens, the captain, fantastic for St Helens. But it was Wilkins' convincing line here that we'll see. A nice little curve, subtle line that held up Callum Watkins' attention for a split second too long. And now Watkins is scrambling to get across. Wellens' knowledge of a defensive unit and how they react to those kind of plays is rewarded with a try, and the first try for Saints in that second half. Leeds thought they'd open their account. This next play, adjudged to have been a knock-on in the build-up. We'll clarify that now. Correct decision. Not a pass in from Watkins or a tip-on. No control. Landing in Bishop's hands does not negate that. That's a correct decision. But they did score, and in daring fashion too. Sinfield the architect, but that was forward. Perhaps not as clear-cut as the Saints fans were making out, but you could see their point, couldn't you? Ryan Hall wants into space. He beats Wellens, finds Hardacre, who does well, doesn't he, to finish nicely, 30 points to 6. Lance O'Hire was the Saints to restore the 30-point advantage. Ablett here sold a magnificent dummy. Still work to do though, great try from O'Hire. The dam finally breached again, you feel, and lovely break upfield from Wilkins set up this play. The Leeds defence is shot here, precise passing. Nice hands there, gets the ball right across the width of the field, and finally into the hands of Gardner for his second. Capped by a try from Gary Wheeler. Leeds totally dismantled tonight.
Yes, taken apart, and Lance O'Hire is the Heinz Big Soup man of the match. He's with Graham.
Lance, congratulations. What a performance, what a difference between your last home game and this one.
Thank you, mate. Yeah, I mean, massive game for us, and it's been a rough month, and that one was for everyone, Royce included, our fans. We've got A long way to go in this season, so looking forward to the remainder of the year for sure.
What have the coaching staff said to you this week that might have made a big difference?
Oh, it's just about pride, really. You know, there's a lot of history at this club and this jumper, and the performances we had prior to tonight sort of weren't up to scratch. So, yeah, really proud of that performance tonight, and hopefully we can build on that.
And you got off to a flying start as well. Congratulations from that point of view. That must have given you a big boost. You are the Heinz Big Soup Man of the match. Where's the money going, the £100?
Thank you very much. Donate the £100 to Sport Relief.
Great, well played, lads. Thank you.
Nice place to send the money on this big weekend. And Mike Rush, he and Kieran Cunningham deserve the highest praise. And well, look, it's only the middle of March, but they're not exactly doing a lap of honour, but they're going to the four corners of this ground and thanking their supporters. And Lance has got his bottle of champagne. I think that will taste very, very pretty tonight. This is the way it finished up then. It's a massive win on the night for St Helens against the champions, 46 points to 6, 2 from Lomax, Gardner and Wheeler. Wellens and the man of the match added another, and Lomax kicked 7 from 8. Hardacre and Sinfield with the consolation efforts for the champions. This is what it means in terms of the weekend. There are all the results from this weekend. You'll be able to catch all of the tries from that programme in Super League full time later tonight at midnight. Here's the table at the end of round 8. Warrington a point clear of Huddersfield, Hull a third, Wigan fourth with Leeds Rhinos, Catalan Dragons, Saints stay outside the 8. They're a point off the Bradford Bulls, but Widnes Vikings are off the foot of the table. Don't forget, Super League full time, midnight tonight, Sky Sports 2 HD. All the tries, 60 odd of them, I think, 68 tries to watch and enjoy tonight with the boys on Super League full time. Next Friday, a real treat. Warrington Saints. It's on Sky 3D as well as Sky Sports 1 HD from 7:30. Can Saints back up for their supporters who leave this ground with smiles on their face for the first time this season, perhaps? I think this ground is now well and truly open for business. 46-6 they have won. It's a big win. It's a big statement by Mike Rush and Kieran Cunningham too.
Watch all 6 Sky Sports channels on your mobile and online.
Iron Brew sponsors Super League on Sky Sports. After a stunning comeback, Chelsea now face
SL Benfica.
The Blues travel to Portugal to take on the 2-time European champions.
And it's in!
Can the only British club left standing make it through to the semi-finals?
Stunning! Simply stunning!
The UEFA Champions League quarter-finals first leg, Tuesday and Wednesday from 7, Sky Sports HD.
Meet Olivia. She's got the perfect man and the perfect job. But the one thing she couldn't count on was a brand new crush that was about to change things forever. Crush'ems. Featuring delicious Cadbury Dairy Milk Caramel, critics give the new KFC Crush'ems 5 stars. It's the biggest crush of 2012.
At Secret Escapes, you can get up to 70% off luxury hotels. Keep that to yourself. Even the best hotels don't want empty beds. That's strictly between us. Secret Escapes handpick their hotels and guarantee their members the best rates.
Who are you talking to, darling?
No one. Shh, quick, go, go! Join the worst kept secret in luxury travel. Secret Escapes.
At Nationwide, we're committed to helping you make the most of your savings. That's why, if you transfer your cash ISA to us, you'll start earning interest as soon as we receive your application. In other words, you'll earn interest even before we've received your money. It's just another example of how, when we say we're on your side, we're not just saying it. To find out more, Visit us in branch or online. Nationwide. On your side.
Dyson has invented a vacuum cleaner with a rather clever self-adjusting cleaner head. It automatically adjusts to different surfaces, sealing in more suction, even on hard floors. So you may find you have to empty the bin more often. Sorry. The new DC41 removes more dust than any other vacuum.
Collect 1,000 Nectar points when you buy your car insurance through Confused.com.
Nectar points are on our side. Confused.com.
So TV, are you open to change?
What's that, Sweepy?
Actually, I change him. I make watching TV more social, fun.
V-Box, future of TV. He's just some geeky freak.
You don't get the whole I make you more interactive thing, do you?
You want to interact with me? You want to twist my dial?
This is awkward.
Z-Box, the free app that could be the best thing to happen to TV since TV.
It's all well and good you having your new Bet Victor logo everywhere, and I know you give the best prices most often in Premier League football last season, but what you need is a gimmick.
Gimmick?
Gimmick? How's about a bet on custard wrestling in play?
No.
Mascot shaving?
I don't think so.
Not now. Beat it. Advanced sheepdogging?
Definitely no.
Morris dancing on ice on your mobile?
We just stick to best prices most often in the Premier League last season.
Not custard wrestling?
No, it's not. Bet up to £25 and get a free bet of up to £25.
TaylorMade Burner Plus Irons. Legendary burner power with maximum forgiveness. For greater height, distance and confidence. TaylorMade Burner Plus Irons. Now just $2.99, saving £100. Also the TaylorMade Stratus 2.0 stand bag, just £69. American Golf, the exclusive home of the TaylorMade Burner family.
Restaurants, cinemas, gigs. Want a great night out? We'll get you in. American Express. Realize the potential.
Can I have a pass, please? Thank you. Sorry. Oh, excuse me. Pardon me.
Oi,
Terribly
why
sorry.
are you stopping?
Here we go. Sponsored by Bet365.
For many teams, a Champions League place is just a dream. But for Espanyol and Malaga, that dream could just come true.
It's number 4 for Malaga. Things are going just perfectly for Malaga. Oh, it's a lovely goal. Oh, my goodness gracious me, what a glorious goal. Zola, and a little shuffle forward towards the possibility of the Champions League.
With 10 games remaining for each, both Espanyol and Malaga still have a very good chance of qualifying for next season's Champions League. Espanyol kick off in 6th, 4 points off 4th. Malaga are 5th, behind Levante on the head-to-head rule. Well, the fight for 4th is fast becoming the fight for 3rd. With Valencia slipping up again, the chasing pack had another opportunity to take advantage and put some pressure on Unai Emery's side. Jerry Armstrong has joined me for our game this evening, which on paper promised to be one of the games of the weekend. Espanyol against Malaga at the Cornellà El Prat. Your commentary team is Terry Gibson and Rob Palmer.